Tracey Wilen. Good morning, Dr. Wilen. Welcome back to the KBYR Morning News and Comment. How are you?
Oh, good, Chris. Thanks for having me.
You know, today is Gene Roddenberry's birthday, so he was born in 1921. He would have been 93 years old today. Don't you think he'd appreciate what we're going to talk to each other about today?
Oh, absolutely. He probably would think of ways he could just stay alive and enjoy more life.
Before we get to wearable technology, I want to talk to you about one of your 11 books that you've authored. The newest one is Employed for Life, 21st Century Career Trends. How's it been going so far? I mean, I'm thinking to myself, what a great year for that book to come out when, you know, the economic reports aren't always that great. We see some new jobs being created, but it's really the perfect time to be doing a complete makeover on your career. It must be going good for you.
Oh, yes, Chris. In fact, this month alone, I've been in New Mexico. I've been in Utah. I'm on my way overseas. It's a real popular topic, both in two ways. One for people looking for jobs, but also people where the jobs is really improving. They're looking to make job transitions, and they want to make sure that they transition in a direction for the future. And so it's very popular, particularly the technology aspects, and that's why I get excited to be on your show, because we talk a little tech in addition to career.
Yeah, I like that. A little tech. Everybody can handle a little tech. We can't go too much tech. Now, let me ask you just real quickly if you agree with this, because, again, it's Employed for Life is the name of your book. And Warren Buffett said to a group of college students one time, he said, you know, you and I are no different than each other. And, of course, they guffawed and laughed at that. And he said, well, aside from the money, he said, the thing that maybe separates you and me is the fact that I get up and go to work at something I love every single day. And I guess that's maybe one way to look at being employed for life, is loving what you do.
Yes, and I think people also have to be very pragmatic about it, because people have often called it find your passion. I view it as you have to find things that you like to do joined with things that you do well. Right? So I'm obviously not going to be a fashion model, because if you saw me, I'm very short. Right? Or a gentleman may not, or a woman may not be able to be an athlete or a basketball player if they can't, make the hoops. So I think we have to kind of combine our interests along with where our skills are.
Dr. Tracey Wilen, are you telling me I'm not going to be an astronaut and a fireman?
I don't know, Chris.
It's okay. I'm satisfied. Well, let's move over to some technology as it pertains to wearable technology, which the idea of wearing technology sort of freaks me out. So what is it exactly?
So this is an exciting area, and this is one that I love talking about because it's emerging. And when you have an emerging area, you can actually make very interesting job moves and career moves, right? Because it's so unknown. Now you can start to integrate this into your career. So wearable tech, just think about the Google Glass you've seen, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody's wearing a Fitbit today. These are these armbands that monitor, right, your heart rate, your running rate, your calories. Sure. You may have heard about things like Twitter dresses. Katy Perry wore a Twitter dress, and it would, you know, as you typed in hashtag Katy Perry, it would glow with the comments of the tweet.
Oh, stop it. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. So, and there are so many applications that people are thinking of and coming up, and that's why I'm excited, because it's what I call a horizontal kind of career. It can be in healthcare, it could be in fitness and training, it could be in the military, it could be in fashion. You know, there's so many ways that you could really get involved with it.
That's interesting. I'm sorry, but I got to go back to that Twitter dress. Where have I been, living under a rock that I've never heard of that? That's just like, wow. Okay, that's probably not going to be for anybody's career other than maybe a rock star. But where might it relate to the average working Joe? This besides the Google Glass, which I think I worry about privacy with Google Glass, but maybe I'm paranoid. But where else would it show up in our careers?
Well, let's just look at the fashion industry, okay? So you actually, to make those dresses, you actually have to understand fashion and design. So if you were a seamstress or someone who understands fashion and design, you could liaison into wearable fashion. So how do I start to integrate the technology into the fashion? On the Google Glass, I think the big opportunity that I read about is how can we use that in precision surgery? There was a case about, can we use this to spot cancer cells that are very difficult to spot using visualization technology, right? So I think what you see on the surface is experimentation, but then you're going to see really hardcore applications. And then a third one I'll mention is something called the exoskeleton, which is really like a suit of armor that enables paraplegics to move, right? So there's a lot of exciting things that these wearable technologies can open up doors for. And no matter what industry you're in, you could probably figure out a way to keep enhancing your skill set.
Mm-hmm. That's actually, you touched on something, because you were saying, you're talking about this exoskeleton, and I'm thinking, man, okay, maybe wearable technology shouldn't freak me out from the privacy standpoint or just the Twitter dresses, but there are really life-enhancing type environments where this could be just incredible. And you mentioned what came to my mind, which was, think of the people that could get involved, not just the people that would actually be using this technology, but creating around it. And just like when the iPhone or any smartphone came out, all of a sudden, everybody and their uncle became able to program for apps and different uses and functions. So I guess this really is a limitless trend that we're going to see in technology and continue on into the future.
Oh, yeah. Here's one that I think about is, my parents have hit 80, but they want to live at home. They're very active. They're very, there's no issues there. And society would tell them, well, shouldn't you move somewhere? Well, I would rather surround them with some wearable technologies, and let me just give you some examples that, things that can monitor your health, your vitals. Let's say you're taking prescriptions. You can actually ingest a sensor now, a tracker, that lets your doctor and family know if you're keeping up with your prescription, right? There's so many life-enhancing technologies now that they can actually stay at home. Or if they have a wristband that skips a beat, it immediately alerts family members and doctors that something may be up. Maybe there was a fall. Maybe, you don't know, right? So these are things that I think can really help people enhance their lives as they get older, and I think there's a big opportunity there, too.
You and I have talked in the past about job boards, and I'm wondering if this isn't a good time for somebody to, if they're even beginning to think, hey, I think I'd like to look into this. It's obviously a limitless, and it's definitely going to be a going forward type career path. Is there a job board out there where somebody could learn more about this?
Yes, I went out and did a search this morning on an aggregator called Indeed that pulls in all of the jobs that are out there on wearable technology. It immediately came up with research jobs, sales jobs, internships, software jobs, hardware jobs, and the one that I thought was interesting is you can train to be a health coach and change your career into a wearable technology health coach. So they're looking for people who are personal trainers and dietitians who want to get involved with wearable technology and build that into their personal training. Wow.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
And you said salesperson. That's something that opens it up to, hundreds of thousands of people that could get in this whole new. So if you're bored at work, you don't know what you want to do with the rest of your life, why not look into this wearable technology? And the first thing you ought to do is go out and get the book, Employed for Life by Dr. Tracey Wilen. Dr. Wilen, it's always fascinating talking to you, and I wish you the best of success. Where is your book available where somebody could go and pick it up right now?
Okay, it's on Amazon.com, and you can always come to my website, which is Tracey, Tracey, Wilen, Wilen.com, and we can point you right to the books.
Okay, that's excellent. There's 11 of them, the newest, Employed for Life, 21st Century Career Trends. Thank you so much. Again, fascinating conversation with you, Tracey, as always. Look forward to our next conversation.
Thank you, Chris.
All right, you have a great day. Yeah, this is something. We can't ignore some of this. And a fireman actually was tweeting at me during the program, and he said that he'd trained me. Dan said, I'll train you to be a fireman, and even offered to loan me his uniform. So if you see me walking down the street, wearing a fireman's uniform, you know what's going on. But it made me think about that while Dan was texting me. I was thinking to myself, there is interesting technology available for firemen. What if there was a suit that communicated back to the truck and or the fire station, or I don't know. I just see Google Glass in the firemen. So like, let's say that they need to get fed something like the floor plan. Maybe they're in a large building, need to get the floor plan. Could be fed into a Google Glass monitor that they're looking through their protective lens. I don't know. All of a sudden, maybe instead of being freaked out about something I don't understand, I should just get off my dufkus and go learn about it. I want to thank you for listening to the